Hi, Linda Bowen here from StampingWithLinda.com, your cardiologist since 1997, helping you create cards from the heart. Today is Tuesday in Creative Fold, and today I'm going to share a new Creative Fold with brand new product from our new upcoming mini catalog. Now, if you're a customer of mine, you should be receiving this catalog in the mail any day. Postal Service is running a little bit late, but hopefully you will have it this week. And so I can't show you the inside of the catalog, but I can show you some beautiful product from it. First, I have the Love You Always foil paper. Just love the shine of this paper. I have used the floral heart dies to cut this heart out, and so you actually get two pieces with that die so that you can use it on another card. That heart dies also come with a long border heart, and we're going to use that with this piece of basic black. There's also in the Love You Always bundle two bundles, or excuse me, it's Love You Always Sweet, and there are two bundles among the suite, and this love is from the Always dies. Now what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to cut out the love with a basic black, but I have used our foam adhesive sheets, and these sheets are great for giving depth to your card for your fine detailed dies. Now I've already taken our white craft pad and our white embossing powder, and I have embossed Friend. This comes from the Daisy Lane stamp set, and the U is from that Forever and Always bundle, which has the Always dies with it. I also have taken a piece of that foil. The foil comes in 3 different colors, and this is the Sahara Sand. Now I'm going to show you where I got this triangle as I'm making my Slimline card, but this was from another Slimline card I did, and I used the silver foil, and then I ran it through the painted texture embossing folder. Now this is also a new item in the upcoming mini. Love, love, love on this folder. Then I have the Love You Always Specialty Designer Series paper, and I'm going to be using the Sahara Sand foil, and I'm going to be using this for my card, and because it's a Slimline card, you can use a business size envelope. But I'm also going to show you how you can make your own envelope with your Designer Series paper. So first I'm going to start out with a piece of Sahara Sand. This measures 8 inches by 8.5, and I want to take the 8-inch side, and I want to score it at 4 inches. So 4 by 8.5 is the size for our Slimline card. So we've got that scored. I'm going to set my trimmer aside. Fold over my card. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my ruler and a pencil, and along the score line I am going to make a mark at the 3.5-inch mark. So right there I'm just going to make a little pencil mark. I'm going to bring back in my trimmer, and what I want to do is to cut from this top point of my card down to my pencil line. So I'm putting the top edge of my card there, and then I'm going to just slide it over until that pencil mark is in the middle of my cutting bar. So again, just going to line it up, make sure it's right, and then I'm going to start cutting and just cut at an angle. Now it's hard to see how close I'm getting to the fold with my trimmer, but because I have to now cut down that score line, I can just fussy cut the little point there. I'm just going to cut down, and like I said, we're just going to cut right in so we get that little piece out that I wasn't able to get with my trimmer. I'm going to pull that apart. So there is our fun Slimline card. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to bring in that Love You Always specialty designer series paper, and I'm going to mark on this. Now this measures 4 by 8.5, and we're going to mark at 3.5, and we're going to cut that triangle. Now this is how I got the foil triangle on the piece that I embossed. Again, I'm just going to line it up so it lines up in my trimmer. And this is the triangle that I can use on another Slimline card. And this is where I've got the foil one. So I did a foil and cut out the triangle. And so I have that. Now this is going to go on the front of my card, but first off, I want to bring in my mini cut and emboss machine. I am absolutely loving this new mini. Now come January 1st, you guys are going to be able to order this mini. Compact, sets on your desk very nicely. The thing that we're finding is that because the roller on this is very small, you don't want to, let's go ahead and get my heart die lined up here for cutting. I'm going to try to get that as straight as possible. I grab some more Post-it notes to hold that down. But the thing is with the cut and emboss machine is that you don't want your sandwich to be square at the end. Meaning that, let me go ahead and get this Post-it notes down. Normally you think about your plates for this machine are very thin, and normally we think about making our sandwich nice and straight, but instead with this machine we want it to be a little bit offset, our sandwich, so that it has something to grab onto when it goes through. So I'm going to just turn this around so that it's going to make it easier for me to start turning it, and we're just going to run that through. The neat thing about this is that it really cuts your images out so nicely. All those little hearts, when I remove those Post-it notes, are just going to pop out, and I suggest that you keep all those little hearts. So I'm going to try to put them up here at the top. They are great for adding on to other projects. I have just done with my tutorial for this month, my customer appreciation tutorial. I use these little hearts, I cut them out in the different colored foils, and they just make a great accent to your card. So you want to keep all of those little ones. Now you could use the adhesive sheets so that there would be adhesive on them, but because the way I'm designing my card, I cannot use the adhesive sheet. So I'm going to give you a little tip on how we can adhere those. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to bring in that love die. Again, this has got that foam adhesive sheet, and you want to make sure you're going to be cutting through the cardstock and that foam, so you want to make sure that you run it back and forth a couple of times because we want to make sure that it cuts good. So I like to run it through. I see there's a stray black heart there, and then I'm going to flip over, kind of turn it at an angle and run it through the other way. That way I know that it has cut through. We're going to make sure cut through so that that will pop out, looking really good. And now we're ready to assemble our card. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my silicone mat and my Stampin' Seal Plus. Got that adhesive on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay the hearts right across that angle that I cut out. Going to bring in my snips and trim the edges off. This is why it was not wise for me to use the adhesive sheets on this, because I don't want adhesive on this part of the heart so that my card opens and closes. So now we're ready to assemble. I'm going to bring in that specialty paper, going to make sure that I seal that all the way around. This piece is going to go right along there. Let me move it up just a little bit more. There we go. Going to bring in that triangle. Remember, I cut the triangle off of the Designer Series paper so that I can use that on another Slimline card. Add my adhesive. And that's going to go right up at the top here. Now, I cut out the heart. Remember, I've got two different pieces. I'm going to be using this piece on my card, so I can use this for another card. Excuse me, I'm going to add the Stampin' seal. Got that. Now I'm going to go in and grab the love that I cut out with the foam. So first we're going to grab the L. The love is not all connected, so the L is separate. It's very fine detailed, but the foam works wonderful with that. Going to bring my pick a tool and remove the inside of the L. This is very sticky stuff, so you need to be careful. So we're going to take that love, we're going to add it to our card right about here, I think. I'm not going to push it down real good until I get the rest of the love to make sure my spacing is right. Let's poke out our little pieces from that. Remember, I'm going to be sharing a tip on how to glue those little black hearts that we did for the border. Got that, and let's see if we've got that love like we want it. And got a little hanging chad. Grab that. Yeah, I kind of like where the love goes. So we've got that. See how it adds the dimension. Now what we're going to do is we're going to grab our small dimensionals. Because it's in black, I'm going to use my black dimensionals. And I'm going to put the friend and the U. I'm going to pop the U up also. Well, where's my pick-a tool? There it comes. So let's go ahead and place that U first on our card. Go like about right there. And then the friend will go right in here. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to grab that silicone mat because we want to add those little hearts. And I'm going to grab my silicone mat. Now the silicone mat is not in the catalog, but it is available to order. So in the order box, just search silicone mat if you don't have one, because you really, really need one of these, especially when you're gluing these small pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the putty side of my Pick-a tool. I'm going to grab that little heart, grab a little of the glue, and place glue on that heart. Now it is, like I said, better if you can use the adhesive sheets, but because I was using that border on my card, I really couldn't use the adhesive sheet for that. So we're gonna go ahead, go down here and add some more hearts. Oops, that heart is upside down. So we can just turn that around. But it just takes a little adhesive on the back of those hearts, and the silicone mat allows you to add that. And then afterwards you can take the silicone mat once your glue has dried, and it just comes right off. So there you have a Slimline card using a lot of the new products. But now we need an envelope, so we're going to go ahead and do the envelope. We're going to bring in a piece of 9 1/8 by 1 1/4. That's specialty paper again. And what we're going to do is we are going to score at the 2-inch mark. Now this is along the 9 1/8 inch side. So this way you can make any colored envelope you want. So we're going to do 2 inches, and then we're going to move it on over, and we are going to do 2 1/8. Flip it over to the 11-inch side, and we're going to score at 1 1/4. And at 10. Move it all the way over, and at 10. Once again, you can use your regular business envelopes, or as you'll see, this is just a fun way to have a pretty envelope so that your card continues to share its beauty even when it's being mailed. So we're just going to cut out those 2 end pieces, like so. Now if you have a corner rounder, you could round the corners of your envelope, or you can just leave it square, whichever you like. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to bring in my tear and tape. I forgot about that. We need our tear and tape, and we are going to run tear and tape along this narrow piece here. Probably should be a little bit closer to the edge. But we're going to leave it like it is, and we're going to put tear and tape on both of the smaller end flaps. Because I didn't go all the way to the edge like I would have liked to, I'll probably have to add some tape because I don't want it to be caught in the postal meters. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold our end up like so, remove the tear and tape, fold it over like so. Didn't get that. Let's see if I can pull that up. I did. We want it nice and even. And then I'm going to remove the tear and tape down on this side. Again, you could use corner rounders if you'd like to round those corners. So we've got the envelope sealed at the bottom. And then we're not going to seal this top because we'll want that to put our card in when we go to mail it. But isn't that pretty to be receiving a envelope that's nice and foiled? So I hope you've enjoyed today's Creative Fold with the new products. Talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.